Hi there. A couple of months ago, I was out to dinner with a friend, and she was sharing some of her experiences with me with meeting men on apps. And I had, in turn, shared with her some of my experiences when I was single, long ass time ago. But this goes back like 17, 18 years ago. I like to say that I met my husband the good old fashioned way on a website on a desktop computer. Um, some of you will get the reference, some of you won't. There is, from what I've seen, a difference in meeting people on websites back then versus meeting people on apps now. And yes, technology is technology. A lot of the differences have to do with our lifestyle and how society has evolved over the years. But that's kind of beside the point. I shared with my friend some of the guidelines and rules that I had come up with to ensure that I met people not only in a safe way, but also as intelligently, and I use air quotes on purpose, but being as intelligent as possible about it. Now, my rules and guidelines, they came from some of them came from just good common sense, and some of them came from actual experiences and stories. Anyway, my friend encouraged me to make a video to share the wisdom that I had gathered over the years. It wasn't that many years. I think it was like 2 years that I was single before I met Brian. So anyway, here are the guidelines that I used for meeting people. And actually, let me just get into the guidelines. So the first one is, now bear with me because I know the whole app situation is different, somewhat different from the website. So maybe it doesn't go down exactly the way I'm going to explain it, but you'll be able to make the connection. So the first guideline was that when somebody would email me and I was interested in the person, no more than 2 emails. No more than 2 emails. So they would email me, I would respond, they would respond. And then I would respond. So that's 2 emails, 2 from them and 2 responses from me. At that point, it needs to move to a phone conversation. The problem with dragging out the emails is it creates a false sense of security, and it creates a false sense of relationship, of knowing the person. So after 2 emails, you should know if you're interested in meeting this person. But I like to suggest having a phone conversation before actually going out and meeting them in person. So that brings us to the phone call. Again, it's the rule of 2 phone calls. If you don't know by a second phone call if you want to meet this person, trust me, you don't want to meet this person. I don't care how perfect they may seem, and I don't care how, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, desperate you might be that you just want to go out with anybody. Don't do it. If you do not know by the second phone call that you want to meet this person, you do not want to meet the person. However, at the end of the second phone call, there needs to be a conversation about meeting in person. If the person is evasive, chalk that up as a red flag. Now, granted, we've all got busy lives to lead and schedules, but you'd rather hear, okay, I'm booked up for the next 3 weeks. I can't really meet you in person until 4 weeks from now. At least that person is making an effort to see where they can fit in a meeting. If they just avoid the meeting in person conversation, or if they keep ducking every time you mention it, then no, this is not the person for you. Regardless if you're looking to meet somebody just for casual fun, or if you're in it to find your one and you're looking to settle down. So 2 phone calls. Don't let it go beyond that. Now I've got a story, but I'm not sure if this video will allow for it, but I did break my own rule and I let a situation go on to actually a couple months worth of phone calls, and I regretted it. And I will share that story if anybody's interested in it, but another time. So moving along, after your 2 phone calls, you set up a time and place to meet. So ideally, if you want to do this safely and be intelligent about it, okay, ideally, daytime would be great. However, most of us are working during the day, can't get away. Weekends are booked. I get it. So if you have to meet in the evening, that's fine, because that leads into the next guideline, which is it's a coffee date. Meet at Starbucks or something comparable. So meet somewhere public. And if you're going to ignore the advice about it being a Starbucks or something comparable, it'll most likely be a restaurant. So that's very public and very well lit. But I like the coffee date because it's a 15-minute commitment that you can extend longer if you so desire. Now, I will tell you that when I did meet Brian, I did break that rule. I let him take me out to dinner. So sometimes rules are made to be broken, but that's a whole other story. But prior to him, all of my meets were at a Starbucks. Well, all except there was one other that wasn't, but that again is another story. So Starbucks, because again, it's only 15 minutes at most, have a cup of coffee, and you'll know immediately in most cases if there's a connection. So at that point, if there is, you can always extend it. Go out to dinner or have dinner there at Starbucks if that rocks your boat, or floats your boat, however the saying goes. Now, so that, where are we at? Oh, yes. So the safety call. Always let a friend know when you're going to meet somebody, and have that friend call you 5 to 10 minutes, no longer than 10 minutes after the meet. So if you're scheduled to meet this person at 7:30, your friend's going to call you, let's say, between 7:35 and 7:40. And what's going to happen is your phone's going to ring. And if it's a good situation, you like what you see and you feel safe and you're enjoying the person's company. I know we're only a few minutes in, but you can tell at that point. So you're going to pick up your phone. Hey, how are you? I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. Can I call you when I get home tonight? Okay, great. I'll talk to you later. That lets your friend know that you're safe and everything's good. Now, on the flip side, let's say you're not digging who you just met up with, and you just know right then and there that this is not time well spent for that person or for you. The phone call goes like this. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. I can be there in about 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Okay, I'll see you soon. And then it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. My friend just got a flat tire and I need to go help her. Or my friend was just in a car. I don't know if we want to wish a car accident, but your friend just had a situation and needs help. You're so sorry and you got to go. Now, I actually had a situation where I was sitting at the Johnny Rockets at the farmer's market across the table from this person, and No, we were supposed to meet for coffee. We took one look at each other and said, let's just have dinner, and walked 2 blocks down to Johnny Rockets. And my phone rings. I pick it up. Oh, yeah, no. I'm so sorry. I can't talk. I'll call you tomorrow. And he looks at me with a smile on his face. He's like, safety call? And I started laughing. I said, yeah. And then his phone rang and he looks at it and he's like, this is my safety call. Hold on. He's like, no, man, it's cool. It's cool. She's cool. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. So we both sat there at the table, drinking our sodas, cracking up, both happy that neither one of us felt the need to fake an emergency. So I've covered 2 emails before going to the next step of 2 phone calls. And then after 2 phone calls, meet the person, set up. Oh yeah, meet the person though, preferably coffee date, 15-minute commitment so you can get out of it if you choose to. You're not stuck having dinner with somebody that you do not desire to have dinner with. I've got a story about that too if anybody wants to hear it. Now, most of my guidelines, I forgot a very, very important one. Okay, and I'm at 11 minutes, so I'm hoping I'm not losing you. Most importantly, actually, maybe it's not the most important, make sure their profile picture, one of their profile pictures, includes an open mouth smile. You want to be able to see their teeth. Actually, let me rephrase that. It's not so much that you want to see their teeth unless you've got a dental fetish, but you want to be able to see that they have teeth. This was a rule that developed from a true life story where I actually broke all of these rules that I'm sharing with you, but he inspired the tooth rule, or the profile picture rule. Make sure that their profile includes an open mouth smile. You want to make sure that he or she or they have teeth. Unless no teeth is your thing. But then I'm going to imagine that's a specialty app, a specialty dating thing, but that's a whole other story for another video. Yes, open mouth smile so you can see that they have teeth. So those are the most important main points. And like I said at the beginning, my friend found value in this guidance, and she encouraged me to make a video because I was kind of feeling like, well, what if it's not relevant anymore? But it is. It's still really good guidance. And I also would like to go back and stress not getting sucked into the non-stop texts. I know it's not emailing back and forth anymore. I know with the apps it's texts or messaging. Don't get sucked into weeks and months of texting with the person and then think you're talking to the person or you're involved with the person. I've seen this happen a few times. And the problem with letting it drag out is it creates a false sense of knowing the person and being in some sort of a relationship. Maybe at that point you have the wherewithal to know it's not a relationship, but you think it's a friendship or it's a real connection. I'm sorry, it's not. I've seen too many people get their feelings hurt by thinking that it's something it's not because they let the texting drag on and on and on. Get the person to meet you as, in a timely manner. Like I said, if they are not up for meeting, then they're not for you. So I am at almost 15 minutes. I hope this didn't drag on too long. But I would love to know your thoughts. And if you have any questions, let me know. Because like I said, I did meet my husband on a dating website. We've been together now 17 years, married 16. And I think I would call that a success.